15-year-old girl stepped outside her house just to pick a grapefruit. But within seconds, she was attacked by two towering figures with glowing eyes, and what happened next forced the Peruvian government to step in.
If you're a fan of The Strange, please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of video. Okay, let's get into today's stories.
The humid air clung to Talia Dila Diaz like a second skin as she stood at the threshold of her back door. The fading light of July 29, 2023, casting long shadows across her isolated village in the heart of Peru's Amazon rainforest. At 6:30 p.m., the dense, impenetrable wall of jungle loomed before her, its towering tropical trees swaying faintly in the evening breeze. The cacophony of howler monkeys, exotic birds, and unseen creatures rustling through the undergrowth filled the air, a primal symphony that never ceased. But Talia, a 15-year-old with wide, wary eyes, wasn't listening to the jungle's pulse tonight. Her gaze was fixed on a single grapefruit tree, its branches heavy with ripe fruit just a few yards from the safety of her home. She wanted to pluck one, to squeeze its tart juice for her family's dinner. It was a simple task, one she'd done countless times before. Yet tonight, her heart thundered in her chest, and her feet refused to move. Fear gripped Talia, a fear born of two truths. The first was the Amazon itself, a wild, untamed expanse where danger lurked in every shadow. At night, the jungle came alive with predators. Snakes that could kill with a single bite, jaguars that moved like ghosts. But the second fear was far worse. A terror that had seeped into the village over the past few weeks like a poison. Whispers had spread of shadowy figures haunting the treeline, their glowing green eyes piercing the darkness. The villagers spoke of these figures in hushed tones, calling them pelicaras, face peelers. The name alone sent chills down Talia's spine. Legend held that these were foreigners, ruthless and inhuman, who kidnapped locals, slit their throats, and peeled the skin from their faces to harvest their body fat for the black market. The stories were gruesome, fantastical, yet the sightings were real. People swore they'd seen the figures lurking, watching, hunting. The village had grown so paranoid that nightly patrols now roamed the dirt paths, armed men scanning the jungle for any sign of the monsters. Talia's breath hitched as she peered into the twilight. The grapefruit tree stood tantalizingly close, its fruit glowing faintly in the dim light. She tried to reason with herself. The patrol was out there somewhere keeping watch. She'd only be outside for a moment. Dash to the tree, grab a fruit, and race back. How dangerous could it be? Still, her body trembled. She scanned the treeline, searching for any flicker of movement, any glint of those dreaded green eyes. Nothing. The jungle seemed to hold its breath, the usual chorus of wildlife strangely muted. Taking a shaky breath, Talia steeled herself and stepped forward, her bare feet sinking into the soft earth. She moved quickly, her heart pounding louder with every step. She reached the tree, her fingers closing around a grapefruit's smooth skin. She yanked it free, relief flooding her as she turned to sprint back to the house. But then she froze. Her blood turned to ice as two towering figures emerged from the shadows, blocking her path to the door. They were massive, one so tall it seemed to rival the trees themselves. Their silhouettes were wrong, unnatural, elongated, as if their bodies defied human form. And their eyes, those piercing, glowing green eyes locked onto her, burning with an otherworldly intensity. Talia's legs buckled, her grapefruit slipping from her grasp and rolling into the dirt. She couldn't move, couldn't scream, couldn't breathe. The figures stared, unblinking, their faces grotesquely distorted, like masks carved from nightmares. The taller one began to move, not walking but gliding, its feet barely touching the ground as it closed the distance between them. Talia's mind screamed at her to run, but her body betrayed her. Before she could react, the figure lunged, its massive hands seizing her and hurling her to the ground. The impact knocked the air from her lungs, and she gasped as the two figures descended on her like vultures. One pinned her arms, its grip like iron, while the other pressed a clammy hand over her mouth and nose, smothering her. She thrashed, her vision blurring as she fought for air. Then she saw it. A glint of metal in the second figure's hand. A box cutter or knife, its blade hovering inches from her throat. The realization hit her like a thunderbolt. These were the Pelicaras. They were going to kill her, to carve her apart and leave her as another whispered tragedy. Desperation surged through her, a primal instinct to survive. With a strength she didn't know she possessed, Talia wrenched herself free, shoving the figure's hand from her face. She screamed, a raw, piercing cry that shattered the jungle's silence. In the distance, voices answered, shouts urgent and fierce. Footsteps pounded closer. The night patrol. The figures hesitated, their green eyes darting toward the sound. Talia scrambled to her feet, her legs wobbling as she stumbled toward the house. The patrol burst into the yard, their flashlight beams slicing through the darkness. One man raised a rifle, his face contorted with rage, and fired into the night. Talia spun around, expecting to see the figures fleeing into the jungle. But what she saw defied comprehension. The dark shapes weren't running, they were rising. Their bodies hovered above the ground, their glowing eyes fixed on Talia and the patrol below. The air hummed with an unnatural energy as they ascended, drifting higher, untouchable. As the patrol's bullets tore through the empty space where they'd been, the figures lingered for a moment, their eerie gaze searing into Talia's soul, before they vanished into the night sky, swallowed by the stars. Talia collapsed against the doorframe, her body shaking uncontrollably. The patrol surrounded her, their voices a chaotic blur of concern and disbelief. She was unharmed, physically at least, but her mind was a storm of terror. The village was thrown into chaos. Those who had witnessed the figure's impossible flight, the patrol, Talia, her neighbors, could barely speak of it without their voices trembling. Fear gripped the community like a vice, the specter of the Pelicaras now more real than ever. Word of the attack reached the Peruvian government, and an investigation was launched. Their conclusion was as bizarre as it was pragmatic. Illegal miners, operating deep in the rainforest, had orchestrated the encounters to scare villagers away from their operations. Armed with jetpacks, armor, and masks, these miners had masqueraded as supernatural beings, using technology to mimic the impossible. That was the official story, delivered with the cold certainty of bureaucracy. But Talia, her village, and countless others in the Amazon scoffed at the explanation. Miners with jetpacks? The idea was laughable. Those glowing green eyes, those gliding movements, those distorted faces, they weren't human. They were Pelicaras or something far worse, creatures from another world watching, waiting, hunting. The jungle had always held secrets, but now it harbored a terror that no patrol, no rifle, no government report could dispel. And for Talia, the grapefruit tree would never again be just a tree. It was a marker, a warning, a reminder that in the heart of the Amazon, the line between myth and reality was razor thin.
What if I told you there was a boundless vault full of a million secrets, buried mysteries, and life-changing adventures just waiting to be explored? A place where stories lie in wait just a tap away. Well, that place is Whispers of the Moonlight. Imagine you're stuck in rush hour traffic, just staring at the sea of red tail lights all in front of you, just wishing you could be home right now, but you can't 'cause you're stuck here. Except you're not really stuck here. Instead, you've been, transported to this incredible world 'cause you're in the middle of an Whispers of the Moonlight thriller. And then before you know it, suddenly you're in your driveway. You've forgotten about the traffic and you're just consumed by the story you're listening to the point where you don't want to get out. You don't want to go home 'cause you're so engrossed. That's the Whispers of the Moonlight effect. From edgier-seat thrillers to minding sci-fi epics, Whispers of the Moonlight transforms words into boundless imagination and helps you live the experience. But Whispers of the Moonlight isn't just about entertainment. Whispers of the Moonlight offers a passage to self-discovery. Do you want to unlock the secrets of success from world-class experts? Done. Do you want to dominate your finances and transform your wellness? It's all here. Want advice to steer your career? Just press play. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of today's episode in the comments. And remember, we have hundreds of videos for you to binge right now. But if you're looking for a recommendation from me of that one video that's worth your time, well, it's this one right here. So give it a watch. Alright, until next time. See you.